What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another CZN video. As you guys know, we did have the Narja banner with her partner release. I did do a summoning session, and I also did kind of talk about my first day impressions about Narja herself. She's a pretty fun character. She's pretty good as well. But today, instead of talking about Narja, we are going to talk about her partner. So I think people got kind of like a misconception that Gaya was like the best in-slot partner for her. I might have said that, but what I meant is that's what it felt like, if that makes sense. It was my day one testing. So I've also seen some comments of people saying that they aren't going for Narja because they can't get Gaya. Well, after testing, people have found, and also, you know, this is just what the numbers actually say. People have found that instead of Gaya, the partner in Alyssa is actually going to do more damage for herself. Now, in terms of your team damage, it's not going to do as much, but it's so close to the point that you might as well just pull for Alyssa, right? Keep in mind, this is just in a vacuum, so, you know, this defense percent, even though it's giving her more damage because 12%, right? What you can also max it out very easily, even though Gaya also has this extra effect, it only goes to 8%. So what you're going to find is Alyssa will give Narja more damage. But you have to realize, Gaya also has this buff, right? You can use a unique card of the assigned combatant with an original cost of 6, which is her mealtime ability, and you give a damage buff, which is basically like morale to all your allies. So that is why you do have to think about this, and even though in testing, you know, people are just kind of building her more of as like a damage deal right now, when a new boss does release, you might need that morale skill, right? And it can synergize very, very well with her ego skill, because you can get a ton of veracity, a ton of predation very quickly, and then buff your teammates' damage by a lot more. So in terms of, do you need to pull for it? The devs did say that they are looking to rebalance some of the partners, and I don't think they'll nerf 4-star partners per se, but there's a good possibility that if a 5-star partner such as Gaya is underperforming or not even, you know, outperforming the 4-star options, that it might get buffed in the future. So, you know, Narja definitely is playable without her own partner, but I will say, you know, they may buff Gaya in the future. And also in team play, Gaya does do slightly more damage from my testing and what I've seen some other people test as well, and also like do the numbers for. But yeah, like I said, too hard to tell right now. Usually what ends up being in that Great Rift content, which we have this blank, you know, box now for, it's going to have like endless bosses, whereas right now in Tower, which is like this new content, they only really have like one boss at the end. So like you have to kill it in a certain amount of turns basically, otherwise you kind of just die. So it's kind of different, but for Great Rift, right, you're just doing as many points as you can. So because of that, you know, maybe the Gaya's team damage buff will outweigh it, but you know, the summary of this video is basically definitely not a must have if you don't want it. You can definitely play Narja without her partner, and it is still very, very good. So yeah, just wanted to make this video to kind of clear that up for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.